Sookie and Jackson plan a mid-century hospital birth, but they end up with a home birth for their first child. Jackson completely disconnects from Sookie's pregnancy. He doesn't want to know the gender, which is fine, but then he doesn't want to know anything about baby. Also doesn't even want to be in the hospital room with Sookie giving her support. He only wants to see her and the baby after the baby's born. Sookie, the people pleaser who agreed to 4 kids in 4 years, went along with this because she's an optimist and she loves her husband. Wondering if Sookie and Lorelai had a conversation about her choice to not include Christopher in the birth. Maybe she agreed to do this because she thought about how Lorelai gave birth herself by her own choice at 16 and she did fine. He would agree with whatever Jackson wanted because if Lorelai could do it, she could do it. Maybe Sookie and Lorelai had a conversation where they looked back on how Christopher wasn't there and maybe that set the tone for the rest of how Rory was raised, where Lorelai didn't have the emotional and physical support she needed giving birth. When Sookie and Lorelai had this conversation, she realizes that Jackson essentially wants to abandon Sookie at her most desperate emotional and physical hour of need. After reflecting of Lorelai's choices with Christopher and his involvement, Sookie thinks that Jackson should be involved with the pregnancy because that might reflect how involved he is as a parent later on. We know that Sookie does not like conversation, which is why she deflected her own opinion onto Lorelai when she talked to Jackson about 4 and 4. I'm assuming she didn't even tell Jackson her concerns, and then all of a sudden, she seemingly appears out of nowhere to Jackson and Lorelai. Sookie may have overcorrected with an intense midwife, however, I don't see an overbearing midwife. I see Jackson's karma.